Here with more, FBI Director Kash Patel. Beyond impressive. How do you have a 91% increase in such a short period of time? Does that mean that the last FBI was not working, or are they just working going after Trump?
It's really simple, Sean. The weaponization of law enforcement is over. The American people gave President Trump a mandate, and President Trump gave me, as his FBI director, a mandate as well. Go crush violent crime and defend the homeland. And when you let good cops be cops, like the cops in the FBI and the local and state police officers around this country, they do their job. They get the mission done. As you relayed these stats, this is just 8 months on the job, Sean. We are up double digits on every metric of consequence when it comes to crushing violent crime. Finding kids, seizing fentanyl, arresting violent offenders. We haven't even gotten into our counterintelligence and counterterrorism work, which is ongoing at levels that this country has never seen before. But that's the beauty of these officers and agents. This is the work they wanted to do. And when you don't force them to politicize law enforcement and lie to federal courts to attack your political opponents and get secret search warrants and go spy on members on Congress, they get to go out into the streets and safeguard the community. Operation Summer Heat was our flagship program that the FBI led, and these are the results when you put cops on the streets and let them do their job.
Can you explain? I mean, you went to Chicago today. I mean, how does Chicago have a homicide rate 5 times that of New York City, which does not particularly have a stellar record itself? So you're trying to help the people restore law and order, and so they can be safe and secure, as I said to Todd, so they can pursue happiness, you know, and you need law and order as a foundation, as a prerequisite. What did you see there? What did you learn there, except that you have a governor and a mayor that just don't believe in law enforcement, apparently. They believe in that defund, dismantle, no bail, reimagine philosophy.
We are taking the juggernaut that is demolishing the weaponization of law enforcement and bringing it to places like Chicago. When I was there today with Todd, we learned that the Chicago city streets have 110,000 gang members. That's right. You heard me right. They had 1,200 shootings this year alone, 360 homicides. When politicians choose to side with those metrics and not their citizenry, thank God we have President Trump and this Department of Justice and this FBI going in there and crushing violent crime. And President Trump sent us into these cities quietly to set the stage, to set up for the National Guard, to see the success that we saw in Washington, D.C., in Memphis. The FBI has been leading the charge in every single one of these streets because we know how to gather ground-level intelligence, and we know how to put handcuffs on the bad guys, and we know that we have the backing of this administration. And most importantly, the agents at the FBI know that they have the backing of the American people and their government.
Can we talk about, and Lindsey Graham is coming up, and he was very angry during the hearing today, and I don't blame him. We had Jack Smith spying on elected United States senators and representatives, and they knew who they were calling, where they were calling from, where the person was receiving the call, who was receiving the call. You have fired the agents that were involved in that operation. What can you tell us about it?
Sean, I want to peel this onion carefully. Look, they put this information, those that weaponized the FBI and prior leadership at DOJ and FBI, they took this information where they subpoenaed 8 sitting United States senators, put it in a lockbox, put that lockbox in a vault, and then put that vault in a cyber place where no one can see or search these files. They're called restricted access and prohibited access. Restricted access means some people get to see it. Prohibited access, you put it in there when you want to hide it from the world, and that takes the authorization of the Attorney General and the Director of the FBI. So not only did they weaponize this law enforcement, but when we got in there, and when I got in as the FBI Director, from my experience as Russiagate, I knew where to look and what rooms to open and what doors to kick down. And that's what we did. We found this information to expose the politicization by Jack Smith and the prior Department of Justice. I mean, just think about it. 8 sitting United States senators, phone records were gathered and subpoenaed through the grand jury process, and it was buried and wormholed with the hope that no one would find it. So we're just scratching the surface here, but accountability is coming. You're darn right I fired those agents. You're darn right I blew up CR-15, the public corruption squad that led the weaponization at the Washington field office. We're just warming up, but we are running our investigations to the ground. We are finding every single person involved. We will not leave a single room locked. We will go in through all the prohibited access requirements, and we will find the material and show the American public, like we have done in this FBI, more transformative and transparent than any in the U.S. history, to bring accountability to the American people. And we will work with our partners in Congress, who should be furious at the prior administration's leadership and weaponization and singular politicization of law enforcement. The American public sees what we're doing, Sean, with the stats you just read off in the beginning. They see what we're doing here to unseal the vault and show the world how the deep state actually operated. It's not a Republican fiction. This is what Donald Trump was put in place to do, and I'm honored to be his FBI director to lead this charge. And the men and women at the FBI, we're all in on this mission.
Director Patel, a 91% increase in arrests for violent crime makes Americans safer and more secure, and they deserve that from their government. That should be a prerequisite. Well done. We appreciate you getting to the bottom of it and your transparency and your availability. We appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.